And joining us for a discussion of issues around Anambra South senatorial election as Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, whose late arrest, is political analyst and former special advisor to the former governor of Abia State, Okezie Ikpeazu, on gender matters and empowerment, Princess Olisa Ogbonnaya. It's good to have you with us, Princess.
Me, it's nice being here once again.
Very good. So, in the words of Senator Chris Ngige, he says the late Ubah's death creates a big vacuum, not only in his district, but Anambra politics in general. How apt is that description, you think?
One thing about Ifeanyi Ubah is that whether you love or you dislike him, he's monstrous when it comes to human empowerment, you know. If there's anything like stomach infrastructure, he was big on that. He empowered lots of people. He was a great manager of men. He has all his flaws. He has his downsides, great downsides too. But he empowered people the way no other Anambra-rich man has done in most recent times, and that's the truth. Even if you don't like him, you must agree with that. So I think it's on that basis that Chris Ngige made that comment.
Yeah.
You know, But there are those who might also disagree with him, especially the way he ran businesses, his businesses, those that might have disagreed with him politically. But then when it comes to human empowerment, he was huge. I was not a benefactor, but I know hundreds who are.
Yes, you know, it's all about impacting.
I was not a beneficiary, actually. Sorry about that. I was not a beneficiary, but I know about 100 persons who are.
Okay, so it's all about impacting the people, really, you know, in a positive ways. So stakeholders in Anambra South Senatorial District have urged political parties to consider candidates beyond Nnewi, you know, for the vacant seat, you know, left by Ubah's party. So what are your thoughts there? Earlier on, when I was reading the intro, you saw how many political parties have been lining up towards that.
You also forgot to mention the ruling Apuga.
Very good.
Yeah,
so,
they were just
in that scenario, what are your thoughts?
Okay, the truth is that some people, I think that statement stems from the fact that there have been insinuations that following the passing of Ifeanyi Ubah, that the Senate should remain in Nnewi, so to allow the people of Nnewi finish up the term. Some had even suggested that his wife, Madam Uchenna, takes up. Some even mentioned one of his siblings. But then that's his sentiment. You know, some said it's morally right that Nnewi finishes up that time. But politics is no moral instruction. You know, so that's that. But then, ideally, one would say that Nnewi had done much when it comes to senatorial of that zone. You know, we have the Agwata block, we have the Nnewi block, we have the Ihiala block. And when we come to that Nnewi block, we have the Nnewi North, where Ifeanyi Ubah comes from. And then we have Ekusigo, we have Nnewi South. Ifeanyi Ubah comes from Nnewi North. Nnewi North, if Ifeanyi Ubah had finished this term, he would have made it complete 8 years of him in the Senate. And before then, I think in 2007, 2011, one of his kinsmen, Ikechukwu Obiora, has also done one term as a senator. So people just feel that it was right, and it is time that the election moves beyond the Nnewi to say Ekusigo or Ihiala or Rumba. Agwata has actually pretty done much. In one particular family, the Ubahs, Ugochukwu Ubah had done 4 terms, their eldest brother, and 4 years later, he handed over to his other sibling, Andy Ubah, who did 8 years. Though it's also funny, very, very funny, and I might allow me to say also a silly ambition that one of their siblings, Chris Ubah, is also coming out now. Probably, maybe when Ugochukwu, their eldest brother, has finished, Andy Ubah has also finished 8 years, they are also thinking of their kid brother, Chris Ubah, coming to run for Senate. So, but the ambitions is within their right, but I find it funny. So it's on that basis that people are saying that we should begin to consider outside the Nnewi. We should begin to consider people from Ekusigo, local government. They should begin to consider people from Ihiala. But now, how viable is the option of Ihiala? Ihiala is battling serious security challenges. Elections don't hold them most times. Consultation don't go on there. And I don't know whoever, if any party decides to bring out a candidate from that local government, how would they gather the votes that might make them win? So, and I think on that basis, that's what people are saying. But there are good candidates in Nnewi too, who are very ready to battle it out. So,
still talking about the sentimental rhetorics, is even coming from the Senate. Recently, Senator Alim Dume is proposing that Senator Ubah's widow, as you mentioned, should replace him as an Anambra senator. But you know, with all you've just said, you know, how democratic will that process be? If, and how is even Anambra citizens receiving that call? Yes,
the truth is that his wife has been, she's been there, but she's more of the behind the scene person. If I were her, I wouldn't support her coming to run for. So she should just.
Although Senator Undume is basing the fact on, okay, fine, Chuka or Kadigbo's experience.
Yes, was able to.
Yes, that's a scenario.
But I personally interact with Margaret Shubo Kadigbo. I know her. She's she might look very soft on the surface, but she's very dexterous and she has a very fragile exterior. But when it comes to the interior, she's quite tough. Right. And I don't think Madam Uche Nauba possesses such dexterity, which is needed for politics. Yeah. You have to talk over how many words, you have to, the issues concerned. And then Anambra South is a very delicate zone. It's important to Anambra State because, permit me to say that Anambra South hosts the highest number of the greatest concentration of billionaires in Naira in Nigeria. It's the truth. That's where you have Airpeace, you have Nestor, you have all of them, Innocent, Koscharis, all of them. They are from one zone, Jesco. So it's a billionaire election. It's going to be a billionaire election. So that's the truth. Money is going to play big, and there is money in that zone. So, and then at the same time, being a zone of billionaires, most of them don't do politics. Okay. What they need from you is loyalty. Yeah, and that has, most times they don't like giving powers to people that are not meant to be loyal. Yeah. So, would Madam Uche Nauba actually be loyal to the powers that be from that zone? You have him, if I have Saimekofo, he's also a big-time player in that zone. So you really don't, and you have the Obas, Chris Tuba, the former godfather of Chris Ngige, and a good number of them. So that zone is very delicate, considering it's a billionaire zone, considering it's one of the zones that has, of course, security challenges. Yeah. Yes, because it's bordered by Imo State. They are close to Imo State. So most of the insecurities come from Imo State, spills over into it, and they are greatly affected. So does Uche Nauba possess what it takes? So it's quite democratic. It's within her right if she chooses to. But giving it to her on a platter, on a sentiment that she's a widow, for me, I don't think it's right. And in leadership, what's important in leadership is preparedness and decision. Does she really want to do this? Are people pushing her into it? So I don't really. There are other people from that Navy zone who thinks the person that contested against Ifeanyi Ubah in the 2023 election, the Apuga candidate, Chris Azubog, he was there in House of Rep for 3 years. He did a great job. He's also warming up. But people are saying, let's leave Navy for now and move to. And when you move to people like Ekusigo, people are advocating, saying, it's our turn. Yeah. Even though Ekusigo had done one term between 1999 and 2003 through Senator Eriobuna, I think there's one of their sons, Dr. Ebuka Onunkwo, the Seahawks guy, he's pushing. I think his acceptability is high. But then, people of Ihiala are saying, let's produce. People of Orumba are saying, let's produce. But these are the areas that are having serious security challenges.
So there's no, low turnout of options, as it were, regarding who to fill in that, vacancy. Yeah. So Anambra South has 7 local government areas. So do you see continued cohesion, unity, now that Senator Ubah has exited the
podium? The truth is that I must repeat, I don't know how much of a fan I was, but his shoe will be quite big for someone to feel. He's got this cult followership. Yeah, even when he moved, he ran under YPP, a party that was not so known. He won his first election. And then he won the second one. Winning the second one, he was able to win 2 other Federal House of Representatives. Urumba North, and then he's also won Ekusigo Navy Federal Constituency. That was a big statement, He had shown that politically, he can be termed an Iroko. And I think he was really preparing for 2025 before it happened. So, but he moved into APC. Now that he moved into APC, that is the problem. We're asking, now that he has left APC, is there anybody in APC who can actually command such respect in Anambra South? YPP left with him. As soon as he moved on, YPP moved on. So Apuga itself is going to be, even as much as there are no shortage of persons, but most of the parties are having serious legal issues. So we might end up having not as much candidate as we think. Apuga, as a political party, is having serious leadership tussle with them at the Supreme Court and High Court. Today, Njoku got a statement. Tomorrow,
but one would have expected that should be, like a walk in the park for APGA, being the ruling party in that scenario.
Yes,
for that region.
Yes, that should have been. But some people are not very happy with the leadership of Soludo. Soludo has done very well when it comes to infrastructure. Great road infrastructure, I must tell him. But he has not so far handled his security situation in that zone very well. You understand? So, and also the legal problem, they have a leadership tussle within their party, issue of Njoku.
Is it just for that zone alone, in the South Central zone, or within
the party, the APGA has a party in Anambra. Nationally,
yes.
Nationally, APGA has a problem.
Yeah.
So, the issue of who is the leader of the party, who is the chairman of the party and who is not. And most of them from Anambra are on the side of Sly, is saying, okay, well, the one that has got the support of the governor. While some are on the part of Njoku. Njoku has gone to get a judgment, Sly got his own judgment. These are issues that will be subject to court interpretation. And it might affect who will emerge as the candidate of APGA in this election. So every smart politician in that area who wants to run, I would suggest they go for maybe all these smaller parties and work hard with it. Labour Party is also having a leadership tussle problem. So we do not know, but basically, like you said, we are not having shortage. They are not having shortage of persons who will replace Ifeanyi. I have mentioned Dr. Ebuka, the one from Ekusigo local government, the Seahorse Oye guy. I mentioned Chris Azubog, he's also doing great. The former deputy speaker of the state, who is now in the House of Rep, I was also surprised noticing that his boys are putting up flyers here and there, Pascal Abodike and stuff like that. So there are a good number of them, some of them from Orumba, they are saying it's their turn. Like I said, we are not having shortage of personality, but we are saying who is ready, who can. Very
good, Frances. You just highlighted the political narratives in that region, as it were, beyond the issue of security.
Yes.
But after all this is said and done, the people have to make, they have to make a choice in that regard. So how is all of these problems, challenges, impacting, their voter choice issues when it comes to the by-elections proper?
Yes, people of Ihiala definitely will be disenfranchised. A good number of them will not be able to vote for their choice. The election will be decided by...
So are you saying some form of voter apathy might
of course.
raise head?
Yes, of course. People are afraid. In that area, some parts of Ihiala, they don't hold burials, they don't hold weddings, and also elections might not even hold in many areas. So this election will be decided by votes from Nnewi North. Some parts of Nnewi South are also experiencing security. Votes from Ekusigo, I mean, Ozobulu, Orifite, Ihembose, and Ishi. So the votes will be decided by that. Then some parts of Agota. Some part of Orumba is also bedevilled. So this election will experience voter apathy, occasioned by insecurity in some part of that zone. Then the election itself will be decided by Nnewi Ekusigo votes. That is why some are saying, since Nnewi is the place that has the highest number of non-indigenous due to its commercial, it's a commercial city. So that's why some people are saying, since Nnewi people are the people going to bring the highest number of votes, why not let us return it with them? But then, I have said it before, politics is not moral instruction. The guy from Ekusigo, Dr. Ebuka, is gaining acceptability. He's breaking boundaries. And of course, if Nnewi decides to give us somebody, they should also give us Chris Azubog. We will work with that because at least we've tested him. But if he must live in Nnewi, then he should go to Ekusigo and they should give us Ebuka.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but let's say, three main political parties here that will be the front runners towards this election.
Fantastic.
Can you just give us an idea, based on your permutations?
Yeah, definitely.
Briefly, please.
Definitely, APGA will be on the front burner. If they are able to solve their leadership tussle. APC is going to do well in the election because a federal election is a senatorial election. The leadership of APC will be very interested. And of course, YPP will be there. Labour Party will make it 4. YPP has got a cult followership that even in the absence of Ifeanyi, most of them might decide to give a sympathy vote to Ifeanyi. And then, of course, Labour Party, because the P2B effect and the former governorship candidate of Labour Party also hails from that zone. From our Agwata local government.
Very good. Frances Olisa Obonaya, I would like to thank you very much for your thoughts on this issue. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you, Niyi.
Thank you.